I don't think I've ever worked so hard in Olympia. This is my 29th year. I know, Lieutenant Governor, he was agreeing with me. But it's a lot easier, and I've been a specialist at letting somebody else do all the hard work on the budget and then just kind of swooping in from the side and saying, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, this needs to happen. I've been pretty effective. And maybe a few more, you're right, Senator Tom. You were the recipient of that one year, as a matter of fact. But when you have to sit down and build it from the bottom up, we were spending, not all on the budget, but I was spending 12 to 14 hours a day for almost the whole session. I haven't been in the gym for almost 2 months. Senator Pearson, you can certainly take me right now. So the point is that this was very, very, very hard work. And we have a constitutional responsibility to pass a budget. And I think all of us on this floor would like to get done in as close to 105 days as we can. I'm certainly still shooting for that. So, is this the budget I would have written all by myself? No, I think there's been even the new OFM director, actually it was Senator Tom, mentioned there are several budgets in Olympia. There's the Democratic, Republican, the governor's, and the Hargrove budget, okay? Well, this is probably not exactly the Hargrove budget this time. But the point is, we had to take and get together enough to move a vehicle out of the Senate so that the House could state its position and we can get on with our business. We couldn't stay in stalemate. Congress is in stalemate. And we see what that's happened. In fact, I was remarkably impressed with how our economy was resilient enough in this last revenue forecast that even with sequestration and even with the Social Security tax increase, we still saw a little bit of a bump up. I think that's a good sign of things to come, and I hope I get a chance to work on the budget when we've got some money. But I would have to say that this was definitely an open process. It was definitely an inclusive process. I sat in the room with Senator Hill as we not only worked through every line in the budget, but also as we considered which bills were going to be coming up for hearing, or which were going to be considered and how we were going to work on it. I have to say that somebody is in charge, though. I mean, it wasn't like a tie. I mean, you're in the majority, I'm in the minority. I would say, I really would like this, and he would look and go, we can compromise on that, and he'd nod his head. So I mean, we still had that kind of a dynamic, but it was very open and very inclusive, and we got a lot of things from my perspective. We supported our middle-class workers by validating all the collective bargaining agreements, including a very important one for our home care workers who are literally making almost nothing, doing a job that I don't think any of us on this floor would want to do. And that was very important to me. We fully funded all of the immigrant programs that Senator Murray has worked so hard on over the years. We made additions in the food assistance program. I think Senator Kaiser is probably gleeful in that with Medicaid expansion, is it like 300,000 new people are going to get health care? I mean, that's an incredible add that we were concerned about. We actually played Obamacare into this budget in several other ways too, and we've actually received some interest from some of our part-time employee unions saying, you know, we might be able to do better to go in the exchange. Let's work with you on this process. It's still not done. It's technically got some issues, but they're interested in trying to figure out a way we can actually get better health care for them and more resources in their pocket. We did a billion in McCleary. It isn't a net billion for K-12, but it is $1 billion in basic ed. Which was difficult. We heard all of the reasons why that was difficult. We did add money to mental health, and this is an area that in the budget that I've been concerned has been taking reductions over the last 2 biennia, and I think it has bubbled up into some tragic incidents in our state where there's been some violent crime because some of our mental health system has not been working that well. We also funded the FAR program that we started last year, which is going to help keep more kids that are abused and neglected not seriously in their own homes and deliver services there so that there's a much greater chance of reunification and keeping them out of this kind of permanent cycle of, you know, foster care and then bad outcomes even after that. So we worked in good faith. I would really like to thank Senator Hill for that. I mean, he's been here, is this your 3rd year? And you were probably, what, in kindergarten when I first came here? Something like that. Yeah. This is my 29th year. We worked in good faith, we compromised on items, and even last night in Ways and Means as we were going through a bunch of amendments, which I thought went very smooth, we were very pleased how that went. We got down and had a little change left on the table, and he said, okay, you get $4 million, I get $4 million. You decide how to spend it. And if you watch TVW, I'd say, this is what's in my checkbook, this is how we've decided to spend it. It was a pretty even process right up through there. I think today the amendments that have been offered by my side of the aisle have made it pretty clear some of the places where we believe there are still holes in this budget. And I think that the impassioned speeches and the amendments that were brought up are making that clear, that it was emphasizing that we're pointing out the places where we think there are problems. Yeah, I had a commitment to work with Senator Hill. I have kept my commitment to keep this budget in the place that it is, as far as making sure that we didn't spend money that wasn't in the budget. I am committed to continuing to work on fixing these holes in this budget. Some of these amendments were obviously very difficult for me because it's things I've worked on for 2 decades. And I think that there's really no place else to go but maybe finding some additional revenue to do that. So that's going to be something we're going to have to talk about with the House and the governor as we move forward. There's one other thing I'd like to say, and this, I'm almost going to tear up on this because Senator Nelson has been incredible. She has been in every meeting with me, and she has stuck by me through what has been a very difficult few days. And it may be more difficult for her on some of these things than me. But she's had my back. Thank you. So, one thing that I've been struggling with my whole life is having a big head. Is maybe thinking I'm a little better than I am. And I realized that being humble is giving God the credit. So I'm thankful that God's given me the strength to come this far. And I hope He'll give me the strength to help us finish this process and get the job done for the citizens of the state. Thank you.